Hi, I'd like to welcome you to General Biology 1, Bio 111. In this video, I'd like to give you a brief introduction to accessing the course, some of the main resources that you'll need, kind of just an overview of the course in Moodle. And so what I've done is I've opened up my the Moodle course here. And the first thing you'll see is just kind of an introduction here. And as you scroll down, you see I've listed out some of the main steps that you need to do to kind of get started in the class. And so I'm going to go over a few of these with you. For example, you need to read over the syllabus. I'm going to show you this in just a little bit in the video, but there's a few areas that you really need to pay close attention to, such as what's required for the course, how you're going to be graded, and the attendance policy. One very important thing, and if you've taken online classes here before, you're very familiar with the enrollment verification activity. This is just a very quick activity that is required. It counts as your attendance, and it also counts as a verification that you have actually started the class. It is very important because if you do not complete this activity by Thursday, January the 20th, you will be withdrawn or dropped from the course. And so all of these activities that I'm going over will be down here, a little lower in the Moodle page. And so, for example, here is this enrollment verification activity. All you have to do is click on the link, take the couple question quiz, and then once you have completed this, that will allow you to complete your NASH orientation certificate. Now, if you've already completed this, if you've had a class, an online course at NASH before, then all you have to do is just upload your certificate to this link here. All right, so I'm going to go back up to our step-by-step things here. So read over the syllabus, complete the EVA, the enrollment verification activity, told you about the online orientation. Both of those activities have to be completed before you start the weekly assignments. And so I'll show you where those week 1 assignments are down below. Another thing that you'll need to do is to sign up for the Hayden McNeil Lab simulation. This is a software program that we're going to use to complete. There's about 9 simulated labs that we're going to complete as part of the course. And so there's a link down below in the week 1 section that's going to that you'll click on to actually register for the labs. And so you'll need to either purchase this online or purchase it through the bookstore on campus. You also need to access the MindTap, what's called MindTap Digital Learning Resource, or just MindTap. This is how you're going to access the ebook and all of the homework assignments and exams and things through the course. And so the study tools and different publisher type resources will be accessed through MindTap. And then number 5 is to purchase the required lab kit. We are using the lab simulations for 9 of the labs, but there are 3 or 4 labs that are part of the eScience lab kit. This is a hands-on lab kit that includes all of the necessary materials to complete some hands-on lab assignments. And so this is a separate purchase you'll need to purchase from the NASH bookstore. Once you have purchased it, they may have some of the lab kits in stock at the bookstore, so you may want to check on that. But if they don't have it in stock, then what they'll do is sell you an access code. Then you take that access code number, go to the esciencelabs.com website, register your kit there, and then your kit will be mailed directly to your house. One last thing that you need to do to kind of get started in the course is to complete what's called the onboarding Proctor track quiz. If you've taken some online courses here at NASH before, you're probably familiar with using Proctor track. This is a free software program that allows your exams to be proctored. And so what it'll do is basically record a video while you're completing your exam. And so you'll need to have access to a computer, laptop, or even a Chromebook that has a webcam and microphone working. And so what the onboarding quiz is, it's just a tool to kind of make sure that your computer or laptop is ready and is able to use this software and has a functioning webcam and that the audio, microphone works and everything is ready. So it's best to go ahead and do this the first week of the semester. It only takes a few minutes. All right, so as we go down, we'll just kind of point out a few things here. Again, here's a link to the syllabus. So at this time, I'd like to go over a few things in the Bio 111 syllabus. At the beginning of the syllabus, you'll see my contact information. Again, the best way to contact me is through my Nash email address. And as we kind of scroll through, the next thing is listed are the required materials. We've kind of been through most of these already. The textbook and the Mind Tap, which is how you're going to access your assignments, most of your lecture assignments, and your ebook will be part of the Mind Tap program. That's all included in your tuition, so there's no separate fee for that. The Hayden McNeil Labs, this is going to be, this needs to be purchased either at the Nash bookstore or through the Hayden McNeil website. This is going to be how we complete the virtual lab simulations. And then some of the labs that we'll complete are through the eScience Lab Kit. And so you'll need to purchase that lab kit or access code depending on, I think the bookstore may have some lab kits still in stock. Otherwise, they will sell you an access code and you'll redeem that code for your kit on the eScience website. You will need access to a computer that does have a webcam and microphone, and that's because we'll be using the Proctor track program again that'll allow us to proctor the exams for the class. And so it does require a computer, a laptop. You will not be able to use a cell phone to take your exams. The Proctor track doesn't work with the cell phones, but it will work with Chromebook or laptops or desktops, as long as you have a webcam and microphone. You will need to do, if you're new to using Proctor track, you will need some type of identification. And so you'll either need like a driver's license, a government issued ID, or if you don't have those, you can get a Nash Community College student ID. And so you will need some form of identification to complete the exams. The course description is listed here for you as well. This course is going to introduce us to the principles and concepts of biology, some of the main topics: chemistry, cell structure, cell biology, energy, metabolism, energy transformation, genetics, evolution, classification, and are some of the major topics that we'll be going over. The student learning outcomes, these are some of the main goals for the class, and so you can read over those. The grading scale is listed here. Everything is based on a 10-point grading scale. And as you see, there will be 6 module exams. These are kind of unit exams. Each module exam will cover 2 to 3 chapters. And so all of those module exams collectively have a category here that will count 60% of the overall course total. There will be 2 cumulative lecture exams, a midterm and a final, and together those will count 10%. All of your homework type assignments, and I'll tell you about those shortly, all of your homework assignments go together, and that forms a category that's weighted as 10%. There'll be 2 lab exams, and these are kind of cumulative lab exams, like a midterm and final lab, and together they count 10%. And then all of your lab assignments, and those will be coming from both the Hayden McNeil lab simulation as well as the eScience hands-on labs. All of those lab assignments together will count 10%. So all of that adds up to 100%. You can see the grading scale listed here below. And so 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, 60 to 69 is going to be a D, and then anything below 60 is going to be an F in the class. Please make sure that you are committed to working on the assignments. We will have a number of homework assignments, lab assignments, lecture assignments. You'll also need to have time to take notes in the class and watch the lecture videos and read the textbook. And so it's very important to realize that this is a college level biology class that will take time during the week to complete the assignment so that you will be successful in the course. Just a kind of brief overview of a few of the assignments here. The Mind Tap, again, this is going to be your publisher software. This is where you're going to have the ebook that's part of this, but you're also going to have your homework assignments in these links as well. And so one of the things that you'll do is to complete what are called mastery training assignments. This is kind of like a flashcard-based system that tries to test you to see how well you understand the vocabulary of the chapter. This is a science course, so there's going to be a lot of vocabulary to learn, how well you understand some of the concepts. The nice thing about the mastering training assignments is that they're graded based on completion. So as long as you complete all of the questions, if you get one wrong, that's okay, because it's going to ask that question again until you get it right. And so once you have completed all of those questions, as long as you complete them before the due date or by the due date, then you'll receive full credit. So, there's kind of a system involved in trying to learn things in an online class like this. I suggest students read over the chapter, watch the lecture videos, take notes, either from the chapter or from the PowerPoint, really focus on those vocabulary, work on that mastery training assignment. And then at the end, I would suggest doing your chapter review or your chapter test. So each chapter that you'll have will have a chapter test to kind of test to see if you are ready for the module exam. The chapter test is not timed, but it is graded, and it is graded for accuracy, and you only have one attempt to complete that. So make sure you are preparing for that chapter test. I've told you a little bit about the Hayden McNeil Labs. I'm going to record another video that kind of helps to get you started in the lab simulations and kind of show you what that looks like. And so look for that in this upcoming week, and I will try to have that ready for you soon. It's important to go ahead and order the eScience Lab Kit. The lab kit takes about a week, maybe 2 weeks to receive once you order it. And so it will be several weeks into the semester before we begin using the kit. So you do have time, but it's very important to go ahead and place that order soon so that you can get your kit and start checking the inventory, make sure that you have everything there and that it's ready to go. The exams that we'll have, again, will be proctored through the Proctor track and software. We'll have module exams and cumulative exams. These will be closed book exams. And one of the things that you'll need to do, and I'll show you the link to this early on, is the Proctor track onboarding quiz. And so this is just a way to kind of get you set up using the Proctor track software. If you've already done this year, if you've already had another class that has used this, then your information should be ready to go, and you shouldn't have to repeat this part of it. But do remember that you do have to have a working webcam and microphone, along with either your NASH student ID or some type of driver's license or other government issued ID. The next section just talks a little bit about the transferability of online courses. In most cases, these classes do transfer. It is your responsibility, however, to check with the transferring institution to make sure that these online classes will be accepted. The college attendance and administrative withdrawal statement is just a little bit about the attendance. The main takeaway here is that you must complete activities on a weekly basis in order to stay active in the course. If you miss 2 weeks, 2 consecutive weeks, or 14 days out of the course, and you're not completing any assignments during that 14-day period, then you will be withdrawn from the class. And so you want to make sure that you don't get dropped from the class. So make sure you're completing assignments on a regular basis. All right, so I know that's kind of a quick overview of the syllabus, but at any time you have questions about the syllabus or anything there, please send me an email and I'll be glad to try to help you. All right, next I'd like to go over the Bio 111 assignment schedule. When you click on this link, it should open into a PDF file here. that basically gives you a overview of the chapters that we're going to be covering, starting with chapter 1, and the due dates associated with the assignments. And so what I try to do is make most of the assignments due each Sunday. So what that means is you can start working through the week on the assignments. I would suggest starting early, so you will need to start reading over the chapter, reviewing the notes, watching the videos, working on some of the homework assignment, but make sure that all of your assignments are completed by Sunday. So for example, all of the assignments for chapter 1 would be due Sunday, January the 16th. That includes the first lab activity. Now the first lab will just be, have a link to an online lab. It's just a lab safety. It's a very simple lab to complete, but that's also due this Sunday night. And then you can kind of go through and see the remaining assignments and their due dates. Now, some assignments like the exams may have a due date through during the middle part of the week. So for example, Module 1, the Module 1 exam will cover 3 chapters, chapters 1 through 3, and its due date is going to be Wednesday, February the 2nd. So not all assignments will be due on a Sunday. There will be some exams that will be due kind of during the week. All right, now if we scroll down a little bit further, I want to show you this link here is for course announcements. Each week and probably several times a week, I'll be sending out or posting an announcement for the class and maybe kind of a reminder about some of the upcoming due dates and assignments. That will also go over to your student email. And then as you scroll down, you'll see here is the link to the Proctor Track onboarding quiz. Like I said, this quiz only takes a few minutes. You'll need to do this. Go ahead and do that this week, and that way you can check your computer or your device to make sure that it is ready and that it will support the Proctor Track software. And then here's a link to a video that I posted that gives you some information about completing the first Hayden McNeil lab. And so make sure you watch this video. It kind of gives you a little overview about completing the assignments for the lab and the questions there. All right, now as you scroll down, you'll see that you have different weeks available. Remember that these sections will only be available after you have completed the EVA, the enrollment verification activity, and have uploaded your NASH orientation certificate. So make sure you complete those, otherwise you won't be able to see this week 1 folder. Once you have completed those and you open up the week 1 folder, then I'll have a assignment list here, and this is for your lecture assignments for the first week. And so for example, for chapter 1, you need to go through and read over the section. Remember, you can access the all of the ebook information. It says down here to click on the MindTap link. Now, I also posted PowerPoint notes in each section. I'll show you those in just a second. And that kind of helps to summarize some of the main topics, but I would suggest taking your own notes as you go through the chapter, especially focusing in on the vocabulary. And so you can access your ebook. Whenever you go down here, you'll see Module 1, Chapter 1, MindTap assignments and ebook. If you click on this link, that will connect you. The first time you'll have to go in and register, but this will click to your ebook. And so what it'll take you is a screen that looks similar to this. Chapter 1 is here. When you drop down the Chapter 1 tool here, you'll see that, and your site may look a little different than mine. You'll see that you've got some study tools that you can access. Here's a mastering training link. This is for a grade. And this is basically going to kind of quiz you on some of the vocabulary and some of the main concepts for each chapter. There are some practice assignments. These are not required. And so if you have time, it may be helpful to kind of go through some of these like review quizzes. That's perfectly fine. It'll give you some questions, kind of see how well you understood the material. When you're ready to actually read the chapter, you can click on the little book icon here, and that'll take you directly to Chapter 1, in this case, Section 1. And you can just kind of click on the arrows, and that'll help you go through the actual chapter. All right, when you're done kind of reading the section, you can X that out, and it takes you right back to your screen. And so you need to go through and read over the different sections for chapter 1. Chapter 1 has 7 sections in it. And again, each one is going to have a quiz, but these are just practice. So if you want to take it and see what a test question would look like, you can certainly use those as a study tool. The chapter 1 test, once you've gone through the notes and once you've gone through taking notes and reading the chapter, then you can do the chapter 1 test. This does count for a grade, so you want to make sure that you are prepared and ready to take this. It is open book and it's not Proctor, so you can use your book and kind of go through and try to find out, find all of those answers, and it's not timed either. So, I want you to try to get as many of these points as you can when you are ready to take this test. So that's what the chapter 1 assignments would look like. Right. So if we go back to the course, that's your Mind Tab assignment. Here's your PowerPoint notes. And so you can click on these to either download them or just open them up on your device. Again, these kind of summarize the chapter. I'll have a lecture video here. And so you can click on this. This will open up a lecture video. And usually I'll have some extra videos here to kind of give you some additional information about the chapter. Then if we keep scrolling down, I have information on the first lab assignment for the week. So week 1 has a lab assignment link here, lab 1, lab safety virtual lab. Click there, follow the directions, and complete. Once you get your certificate at the end of the assignment, you just upload that to your Moodle link, and that'll count as your first lab assignment. However, I also want you during that week 1 to go ahead and complete the Hayden McNeil lab registration. That's because next week, in week 2, you'll actually begin using the Hayden McNeil lab. All right, so I hope that gives you some good information, kind of help you get you started in the Moodle course. Don't forget about ordering that lab kit because we'll be starting in on those that first e-science experiment in a few weeks. So hopefully that's helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions. The best way to contact me is through my email address, which you can see here.